Welcome to Telltale Books video. I'm continuing my Stephen King complete exploration with his first professionally published story, but his 12th overall. And it is called The Glass Floor. The Glass Floor was published in the fall of 1967 issue of Startling Mystery Stories, and it was indeed the first professional sale of Stephen King. Good luck getting a hold of this issue of the magazine. I found one on eBay before I sat down to shoot this video, listed for $800. Now, any other issue of Startling Mystery Stories from the 1960s or early 1970s will only set you back between $15 and $30. But that one, because it's Stephen King, will cost you $800. Okay, but fortunately, well, this story, I'm not sure where all it's available. I have it in Night Shift, but not the original Night Shift that you might know. It's only in the edition of Night Shift published by Cemetery Dance in a limited edition hardcover, which is a very beautiful, lavishly illustrated book. I love this. It did set me back a couple hundred to get this book. And so you can expect the same for that edition. And other, the regular mass market editions of Night Shift did not have the glass house in. This book put that and a story called Weeds in as bonus stories for this particular edition. So I'm not sure exactly where the Glass Floor is easily available right now. But the story, what's happening in it. I forget the main character's name, but his sister has died. His sister was married. She and her husband lived in a very old house that dated back to the Revolutionary period, out east somewhere. And so this guy is traveling to the house to talk to the husband, and he had just heard of his sister's death, and he gets there. His sister's already buried, and the room where she died is plastered over, and the husband won't let the guy go in and see where his sister died. And he's just freaked out about this. Why can't I go in that room? The husband explained she fell off a ladder. The guy's sister fell off a ladder, and a tall ladder, because she was up painting, and she died hitting the floor, broke her neck. So the guy insists he's going to go and see this room. He has to see it, needs to see where his sister died. He insists he's going to go into this room, so the husband takes him to the hallway where the door has been plastered over. And the brother then proceeds to start chipping to get the door open, and pulls the door open. And what does he see? He sees a room where the entire floor is a mirror. It's a glass floor. It's a mirror floor. So you look down at the floor, you're seeing up to the ceiling. I'm going to stop there. The rest of the story is very weird. Kind of, I wouldn't call it Twilight Zone-ish. I would call it more Night Gallery-ish. It's strange, it's disturbing, it's creepy. Stephen King says in an introduction in this edition of Night Shift that it was one that he didn't think much of, but then he pulled it out to consider it, I guess, for the revival of Weird Tales by Darrell Schweitzer. King reread it with the idea of maybe rewriting it to make it better, to publish it in Weird Tales, and he decided not to change anything. He said it wasn't perfect, but it wasn't as bad as he thought it was. And I would agree, it's not a bad story. I wouldn't call it a top tale, I wouldn't call it one of King's best, but it's, if you can track it down, I think it's enjoyable. It's just a short story, and fairly short as short stories go. Not quite flash fiction, it's longer than that, but it's not very long. But it is enjoyable. For those of you who love Stephen King or just love creepy horror, like I say, kind of Night Gallery-ish, if you can track this story down, it's worth the little bit of time it'll take you to read it. And I'm going to call it quits at that, and we will move on to the next of Stephen King's early works. His second published work from 1968 is called Cain Rose Up. That'll be the next Stephen King video. I hope you'll like this one. I hope you'll hit the subscribe button, and I hope you'll come back for more Stephen King and all the other authors that I'm exploring. I've got quite a long list that I'm slowly going through, trying to read everything I can get my hands on. And I hope you'll come back and join me.